So I want to ask you something though. So if the season does resume, obviously, players like KD, Kyrie, Giannis, not Steph, he was already back. John Wall, Clay. I mean, the Warriors are kind of not in the playoffs. So what I'm trying to get at is, would you be all right with them coming back onto the team and playing for the playoffs?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that, like, because obviously right now the Nets are 7th seed, and they would be, if this playoffs were to start now, they would be facing the Raptors.
Right.
And obviously Raptor fans are like, oh, that's not fair. That if the season resumes, that he gets to play, because
they'll finally get to realize that if we had KD,
oh yeah,
they would have won.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see what you thought about that. If
I wouldn't mind, man. It's just kind of like who the hell knows when a global pandemic is going to be, right? Like, can you blame Kevin Durant for that?
Right.
Can you blame Kyrie Irving? Can you blame all these players? For a global pandemic, and that it just so happens that the time that passed, was enough for him to heal. I'm not gonna put that on him.
Right. The only reason I brought up Giannis was because I don't know if you remember, before this whole season got postponed, he got hurt and he was out.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. He was out, so the Bucks were kind of losing some games, and I was hoping our Lakers would be creeping up for that best record in the NBA.
Right, which I think we did, right?
We don't. We still don't. We're second best.
We're the first in the West.
First in the West, yes, but not in NBA.
So Bucks got us.
Yeah. And then you brought up we were texting through the week because obviously we talk during the week. We don't just talk.
Yeah.
One day out of the week.
Not just Saturday or Friday whenever we film it.
So I'm popping a picture right here. Hopefully, somewhere right here.
Somewhere.
Which player from the 2000s?
That's right.
Wish had a longer career? Obviously, there's some players that they get their season kind of.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it a little bit before, like the Greg Oden situation.
Right.
Andrew Bynum, I don't know if we talked about that, which are actually on the list.
Right. So obviously you guys can see the players here.
Yeah.
But for you, we'll go Jay Williams.
Right.
Andrew Bynum. Right. Greg Oden. Brandon Roy. Mm-hmm. Gilbert Arenas and Yao Ming. I'm going to be straight up right out the bat. Yao Ming is not someone that I would want to see a little bit longer. He had a great career. He was fun. And right.
I'm excited to get that one crossed out. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, okay. Cut to the point, huh?
Yeah, but you can go first. What
you want me?
Yeah. Let's start by the elimination process, and then we'll get to the winner.
I personally didn't watch Jay Williams.
Okay.
So he's obviously off for me.
Okay.
I think you're right with Yao Ming because he's more old style.
Get him out of here.
He's more old style. Back in the day when there was a true center, not power forward / center.
Right. Or small ball now, right?
Yeah. So I think he's out of the equation just because I don't think he'd be as effective as he was back then.
Right.
Very true.
He'd be very one-dimensional.
Yeah. I think it goes same with Andrew Bynum, although he was obviously a former Laker. I wish he would have stayed.
This is fan on fan or not fan. What do you call it? This is a crime committed by a Laker fan to a Laker player. You can't just hate on him, man.
I know, but
you can't just hate on him.
I truly believe if he wasn't hurt for the finals, the year they lost to the Celtics in 2008, I think they would have beat the Celtics.
Think we would have three-peated?
Yeah. If they had Andrew Bynum that year. I think they would have beat him. I think the Celtics would have been ringless in the 21st century.
And then the Kobe and LeBron or just the Kobe and MJ discussion would be a little bit tighter.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then there's Greg Oden. He's another one where it's just one-dimensional, like you said.
It was great though. It was fun.
I wish he actually even had some of these guys had a couple decent years. Andrew Bynum had a couple years. He obviously played with the Lakers. Right. Greg Oden didn't really even. He got some chances, but in the D League and stuff, he didn't really get. I felt like he didn't get to his full potential.
He never.
You know, and we saw it glimpses in college and stuff.
Yeah, which got him the #1 pick.
Right. You know, he deserved it. Yeah. But, you know, it's unfortunate to. And then, which leaves Brandon Roy and Gilbert Arenas. Yeah. That's a tough one. I think I would have to go with Brandon Roy.
I was going to say, I know we saw a little bit more of Brandon compared to Gilbert, because Gilbert was a little bit earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So we saw a little bit more of Brandon Roy.
Right,
I remember that, you know, that big ass
shot,
you know, buzzer beater.
Yeah.
I remember. I feel like that's the one highlight everyone
remembers
can bring up about Brandon Roy. So, but as far as the stories and just kind of like watching, you know, tapes over the years, you know, or highlights, whatever you want to call them, of Gilbert Arenas, he was a bad man. Right,
yeah.
And Kobe actually respected both
Agent
of those.
Zero?
You know, but there's you know, clear interviews of Gilbert talking about how like Kobe liked the dog and Gilbert Arenas, and I actually was just watching one earlier this day. You know, he was just talking about how he was trying to out smart or beat out Kobe in the mental warfare that they were you know, going through. So that was fun, you know, and I would have to go with. Out of those, I know you chose, you know, Brandon Roy, but I would say definitely not Yao Ming. Who's the other one?
Jay Williams.
I didn't really see him play much from what I saw, though, like highlights and stuff. He's good. I'm not going to say, but I don't really know him that well. Definitely not Odin. Bynum, like you said. I mean, Laker on Laker crime. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut him out too, because I didn't feel like he was that great. He was good, but he wasn't like that great, right? So it's between Gilbert and I would say Gilbert, just because I think just his persona and his you know, way he carries himself, his demeanor, it's just dope. Like he wore Dolce Gabbanas to a game, like stuff like that. He was
I mean, no doubt he would have been fun to watch
for sure.
But to me, Brandon Roy, I mean,
great, man.
the way the game's played today, I mean, yeah, Brandon Roy would have fit too, or not Brandon Roy. I'm sorry, Gilbert. He would have fit well, but I don't know. I think it would have been fun. I think Brandon Roy would have been, you know, top 5 in point guard.